Yo. Look, you get this center and wait. What are we watching today, chat? Uh, the answer to that is really uh, up in the air. Because, like, you can hear me, right? Yeah. Um, I don't know. I didn't have really a lot of things to cover, but wanted to go live or whatever. And I'm watching the Giants game or the 49ers game in the background as well. So we'll watch. I have one video uh, to go over, but after that, it's really just a toss up, to be fair. Let's see. Oh, okay. I can't show the game, but I think I can have the background on it. Watch a couple plays and we'll watch the video. Sheesh. We need the Bears. Bears 3.5 plus 3.5. Need that shit to hit. No cap. No cap, chat.
Shanahan's team. They are second in the league in terms of fewest penalties, only 5 per game.
There is no foul. Third down.
All right, no foul there. It's been plenty of injuries for San Francisco during this season. Purdy with that toe injury that kept him out, tried to come back and came back too early, was out even longer. Pearsall, I just mentioned. We've talked about Kittle and the two on the defensive side. I mean, those are star players. Those are the guys who banners go up on the stadium. You say, hey, come see Nick Bosa play. Come see Fred Warner play. Come watch George Kittle block. They've been out. Purdy
Oh.
outraces Montez Sweat and slides for the first down.
Damn, chill, Purdy. I need this, Purdy. Chill.
So he never tested it out, and he woke up with that same swelling again today. George did say he thought he had a high chance to play tonight, so he expects to be back next week against the Seahawks.
That is here. If the Niners win this game and that game, they put the suitcases away. They will play every playoff game here, including the Super Bowl. McCaffrey left, cannot get away. There's Noah Sewell, who had the first hand on him, the brother of the terrific right tackle for the Detroit Lions, Penei Sewell. Noah making the play there.
Let me check something really quickly.
It is like watching a bit of a circus act out here with this 49ers offense and all the motion and the change of direction. But some of that, again, is lost without Trent Williams in there.
End of the quarter, we'll see if they're just going to try to draw the Bears off here. It's 2nd and 11.
No point in doing that shit.
And the end of the quarter dance brings us through the first. Both teams with 2 touchdowns.
All right. We're gonna turn that off right now. Probably gonna watch this first video, and then after that, who knows? After that, who knows? Okay. Make sure everything's on. Whatever. Look at Buddy's face. This was the guy on Jubilee. Kai Swimmer. We'll call him Kai Swimmer. Alright, that's the best I can do. This guy was on Jubilee with Mehdi Hassan that one time. He didn't seem to be very bad faith in that Jubilee video, so it should be interesting. It didn't seem like he was like a bad guy or anything, so that's why I guess it says him against Dean Withers, so look at his face. But I guess they had like this event or wherever they were at, that Amfest, I believe, and they were doing interviews outside or whatever, and he found Dean, and then they did some type of debate. So this is what I wanted to show. So let's see.
Oh my God, that's neo-libertarian flammable.
What's going on? Good to meet you, man.
God,
You got your anxiety? Don't use the Lord's name in vain. Wow, that was a bit. That was a joke.
Big fan.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Sorry. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Dean, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Good to meet you. You don't have to shake my hand. That's fine. That's fine. Parker, good to meet you too. Will you shake my hand?
So I'm
The
actually
political discourse is very sad.
so the neo-libertarian.
I feel like that could be dishonest. I don't know anything that this guy has done to warrant a non-handshake or anything like that. We politics probably should start trending in the direction opposite of that, because like, especially for a guy like this, like he's not like a prominent right-wing figure online or anything like that either, and from as far as I can tell, he hasn't said anything like crazy or in like an insane bad faith way. I mean, so I just think that normalizing that, I don't see the point of not shaking his hand there. I just wanted to say that. So
Wait, are you avoiding me in person too, not just online?
I'm not avoiding you.
You'd rather talk to the Juan Pablo shirt?
Who is Juan Pablo? I hear like the
This is Pope
neo-libertarian.
John Paul II. Saint Pope
Are you guys
John
a
Paul.
Catholic?
I mean, the shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you guys Catholic?
I'm not. No. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah. I mean, we're all content creators.
So-
Like a camera. It's very normal.
The Pope, he's the vicar of Christ. He doesn't think too highly about Donald Trump's immigration policy.
Neither do I.
Neither do you. You shouldn't either.
Dean is so
According
much
to your
more.
shirt.
Dean, you're a lot more chopped than.
Hey, don't be mean.
Damn.
Don't be mean.
Not more chopped than that.
Don't be
Gabo
mean.
or
Don't
the
be mean.
Brain. I don't know.
All right, so let's debate. We're in person now. You can't.
all right, that was
Unfortunately, we've been.
a cringe attack, and then there was a cringe response. If we're being honest, he was like not more chopped than something. I don't even know what Dean said there, but but the
debating for the last 5 hours.
ad hominem
You
attack
want
was
to
also
debate in
pretty
person?
lame. So
If you ran online, you're running in person.
Well, I'm walking
You
away.
said that Charlie Kirk
If
did the
you
same
want-
thing to you,
Guy.
and now you're doing it to me.
Guy, if you want to like follow me and debate me, I mean,
I'm down.
that's your prerogative.
All right, sweet.
We're like going back.
I'm ready to move. I'm ready.
Just been here for 5 or 6 hours, and now we're gonna get some dinner.
I respect that. That's a ton of time. And I hope you eat something yummy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm a fan of the chicken sandwiches, but I don't know the Phoenix scene. So, I want to say, and I don't mean to be condescending, I know obviously the anxiety pen, that was a bit
It's not a bit. It's
going
not very
on.
fair mile,
Good
but
to see you, friend.
What's
Sorry,
up?
having a
Good
bit.
to
Hey,
see
what's up,
ya.
man? Good to see you. Give me just a second. Important business to attend to. No, my apologies. Anyway, so let's pick up where we left off. Are you willing at least to say that you dodged our debate a little bit by pulling up like a TikTok video that was as much of a joke as your anxiety pen bit was?
no, I thought that the TikTok was gross.
Okay.
I mean, and the
That's your
debate,
prerogative.
the debate that you're arguing, I dodged is something I completely swept you on. The 14th Amendment,
Uh-huh.
I fucking swept you. I mean, what was your argument?
Okay, so you misinterpreted the origin of the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
And then you tried to qualify it, because I mentioned, look, in
Make
the
sure you get this
congressional
next bit on
debate,
camera, okay?
in the congressional debate about the 14th Amendment, the first thing that was said after it was proposed was that it would obviously not include Native Americans if they have not renounced any tribal affiliation.
Is Destiny here? He actually is. Tell him I'm a big fan. I'm not with him, but I know that he's here somewhere.
A rival faction. But so you tried to bring up that there was like this prior kind of dispute. I believe it was about like the recognition of tribal lands. I don't want to strawman you, but what was your response to the idea that citizenship requires allegiance?
Oh, so that argument comes from a Yale professor
And the framers of the 14th Amendment.
in 1926. But you know where Yale comes from?
Where?
SCOTUS. You know Chief Justice Gray is? No, so he served on the Supreme Court in 1898 during the U.S. versus Wonka case.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, oftentimes, you know, when I'll bring up the U.S. versus Wonka case, a very common response is, well, what was it, undocumented immigrant.
Right.
His parents were were residents,
They were
permanent,
permanent
permanent residents. However,
for multiple decades.
However, right, the contentious part of the 14th Amendment, right, which leads to this conversation surrounding does it apply to undocumented immigrants, is are they within the jurisdiction thereof?
Subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Correct.
And in the U.S. versus One Clark case, in the footnotes, Chief Justice Gray defined being subject to the jurisdiction thereof as being not more or less
You guys need
comprehensive.
to cross?
Yeah, we do. Then being, hey, thanks for pointing that out. Then being within the jurisdiction thereof.
Okay.
And we know that undocumented immigrants are within the jurisdiction thereof because that was ruled and definitively determined by Pryor v. Doe in 1889. So the only way legally you could argue that undocumented immigrants and their children born on American soil don't have a claim to birthright citizenship is that were to be strictly ruled by SCOTUS. But currently, all case law points towards you being legally wrong and me being legally right. By the way, just to point it out there, at some
Hold on, Dean. Why is the child of a foreign diplomat not an American citizen?
I do that? Well, I'm not saying much because I'm trying to figure out what their point is. I guess he's trying to argue that we should get rid of the 14th Amendment, and then, to Dean's point of all roads lead to Dean being legally right, that I guess that undocumented immigrants, their children would be American citizens. That he would be correct there. He would be on the right side of that position every time because in the 14th Amendment, like you said, the Wong Kim, I believe his name was Wong Kim Art. I believe that's the exact pronunciation, but it basically ruled that even the child of an undocumented Chinese immigrant is a American citizen. So I guess Kai is trying to argue that it is not being looked at correctly by today's SCOTUS. I guess his argument would be at least the undocumented immigrant here was in the United States for a decade at least, or I believe the guy that the Wong Kim Art guy was in the United States for a while. I believe that is the case. So I guess he's trying to say maybe if you're an undocumented immigrant that wasn't here that long, you're not supposed to get this 14th Amendment right to you or to your children, I should say. I don't really buy that. I think that it was interpreted correctly, that it is today that, any child born here is, an American citizen. If you're born on U.S. soil, as long as it's in the law, what does it exactly say? As long as you're not of a foreign, if it's not like a foreign battle and you're a part of the enemy combatants, and then like you have a child, that child's not an American citizen. And I believe there's one more thing that I'm just not thinking of right now, but that is basically where this conversation is heading, I guess. But again, another reason why I wouldn't buy that as well, that if it's like a short-term undocumented immigrant having a kid and that child not being a U.S. citizen, is because this whole notion of the 14th Amendment has been placed since before the 14th Amendment, right? This comes from English common law, or whatever you want to call it. It has a bunch of different names, but it came from the UK of, if you're born on this soil, then you are a citizen here, right? And then, he's going to take it from here. But that's exactly how I'm interpreting this whole conversation right now, because it's like there's no like pretext. They were talking about something that they've been talking about online this whole time, so there's no prior I guess substance I can go off of. So I just wanted to pause it for that really quickly, and I wasn't saying anything, so I was trying to understand. But Yeah.
What do you mean shorter in real life? Am I tall online?
Well, see,
That's like a weird statement.
because
I mean,
because
did you think I was tall based on my online persona?
I can
That's a
tell you what,
compliment.
You're
shorter than I thought.
That's a
An answer to your
compliment.
question.
Yes,
Because Chief Justice Gray, once again in that U.S. versus Mark case, defined them as not being within the jurisdiction thereof, since like American laws, for the most part, don't directly and immediately apply to it.
Wait, what?
You heard me. I mean, that's Chief Justice Gray.
No, hold on. You said that the U.S. laws are directly and immediately applied to the children of foreign diplomats. I think either you misspoke or I misheard you.
No, to the foreign diplomat. Sorry. What's that?
You don't want to walk up.
No, but why the children? Why is the child of a foreign diplomat?
I don't know. I don't want to say too.
Are we like? Is it like a time where we got to split?
If you guys have to say something private, like we'll turn the camera.
I got the anxiety.
No, just because we gotta go back. Because we gotta go back to where we're staying, and we don't want people.
Yeah, we're not gonna dox that. My apologies. Yeah, I'm not gonna follow you all the way. So, but I may have misheard you.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we should like sit down and like.
Come to a party tonight.
So like that.
That'd be so big.
That could be best. That could be.
I'm not.
They also said they had like some party.
Yeah, you have one more question.
Well, no, I think I misheard you or you misspoke.
Okay.
You said that the laws are directly and immediately applied to the children of foreign diplomats, U.S. law.
Foreign diplomat. Sorry about this.
So the U.S. laws are directly and immediately applied to the foreign diplomat.
No, the argument is
That they're not.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
There are cases.
low-key
there are cases
dodging
where
now.
diplomats. Teresa.
I want to say he's dodging, but like this whole thing. What is this video? What is this video now?
Dude, this is like a stand-up. This is like a Mexican stand-up right here.
How are you?
Oh,
Oh, you're.
Wait, is this Star-Crossed Lovers?
I've seen you.
No.
Parker.
Are you here for their event or are you here for the TPO?
Oh, we're not running the event.
Dean was racing. Just debating. Yeah. Dean, why are we racing? But you're not here for them. This is crazy. This is a Romeo and Juliet Star-Crossed Lovers.
This whole video.
Is that real?
What the fuck, Dean?
Sorry.
Surprise! I didn't.
How many anxiety
now.
comes in your car? Anyway, so
One.
we're having. Can I hit it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we're talking about birthright citizenship.
Sorry, I'm not trying to smile mix with my sub 35.
Longer. 7 minutes though. Hopefully it's not this the entire time.
You're with Mason. Very interesting.
Look at him, bro.
I have.
He's just sitting there, bro. He's like, when are you gonna get done, bro? You look like he looks like a fucking like
I do.
like a beggar, bro. Like I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to do this, bro. He's like, I gotta wait for him to get done.
Answer to the birthright citizenship.
Look, he's talking to 20 people, and he's like, bro, he's just gonna wait for him to get done.
He's mogging me. He doesn't even take off the mask.
I remember when you fucking yelled at John Morrison.
Yeah.
I would say we also went to high school together. I'm friends with Jamie.
Oh, you're friends with Jamie?
Yeah.
Nice. How is he? How is he?
Oh, he's doing good. So we're in Utah.
In Utah?
I used to
Yeah, he's over at UMU.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
I know this.
Oh, that's
we
cool.
have somebody.
Bruh.
Yeah, we're all Yeah.
All right.
Look at the small world.
Yeah, dude.
I know, right? We're like, is that technology?
125.
Yeah.
We got a posse.
All right, Dean, we do have to get back to the bank because I don't want to take up much of your
I
time.
have one more question.
Well, you haven't specified. So, Michael, good to see you, man.
Hey, you're gonna be back tomorrow? Did he be ported?
It kind of looks like shitty quality when I turn
You're looking good, by the way. You're looking
playback speed. I don't know why.
And that honestly, I look up to. Are you getting Parker on there?
Oh, dude. I mean, Parker's already been on that for years.
Let's go. Lifting the weights.
Last question, last clarification. Then we gotta leave things in our right without you guys because our place is in the area and we don't want it to be done.
That's totally fair. I think I'll just kind of make the statement then, which is that because I didn't understand what you're saying, whether or not the American laws are applying to the children of foreign diplomats immediately and directly. I mean, the typical assumption is that they don't.
The argument is about but the argument is about the parent.
Yes.
So as long as the
Why does the parent matter?
Because that's what Chief Justice Gray and the other eight.
But why do you think they decided that the parent's citizenship and their allegiance matters in determining the citizenship of the child?
Allegiance argument that's not a legal one. That comes from a Yale Harvard.
No. That's actually the way that the original language was actually. No, that's not the case, because you know that the 14th Amendment precedes obviously the early 1900s or the late 19th century.
I meant the 19th century.
Which part of it?
I think the Harvard professor came along right after its ratification, like 74, like the allegiance argument. Came from a Yale law professor in 1874. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere in that.
I'll have to look into that. That is interesting.
Right, that's where the allegiance. I mean, that's what even Turning Point says. Because I think that Turning Point did a video on like the nature of the 14th, if it applies to undocumented immigrants. And inside of that video, even they're referencing this law professor for the origin of this allegiance argument. That you have to have allegiance to the country.
Well, I think
and then a removal from the country where they turn somebody around at Ellis Island going into America, preceding the introduction of the 14th Amendment. But I mean, legally, there's no question that today the children of undocumented immigrants do have a claim to their citizenship. Your best argument isn't that today they don't. Your best argument would rather be
it's funny.
Well,
it was wrong. Supreme Court precedent.
Your best argument would rather be you disagree with the amendment and you hope it changes.
It's also like I don't know if it's me, but like the whole audio is just terrible. I mean, it's because they're recording on the phone and they don't have like a mic or anything, so it's kind of hard to understand because I can hear the guy in the background talking and it's pretty annoying. But so I just want to make that clear. It is also hard to hear.
It's not that the amendment says anything other than what I'm saying.
No.
Hold
on. You have to understand the framework I'm applying. Because there are Supreme Court justices in very recent memory who apply the original common interpretation framework to their analysis of founding documents. It's not that I'm wrong, it's that I'm applying a different framework. But I think that I can very reasonably say that the framers of the 14th Amendment, the people who wrote it, were obviously intending something different than what was decided in Wong Kim Ark. And the nature of the perception, especially of Chinese immigrants, not only was that something that was disputed in the Congress prior to the 14th Amendment's ratification, it was also something that was then multiple times reinforced in law because you had the Chinese Exclusion Act, which begins as a temporary shutdown, a moratorium for 10 years. It is then reaffirmed, and then it is codified into law. No, hold on. But I'm talking about like specifically like the perception of the United States towards the Indians. If what you're arguing that the people who made the 14th Amendment agree more with your perception than with mine, would you say that? I don't want to strong.
I'd say that's a delineation that's hard to make. I'd say
I don't think it's hard at all because they wrote it down and they said we don't want this to apply to Native Americans because they don't. And by the way, to refute your argument.
Well, I really want to speak on that point because I think I can honestly probably concede that maybe they were attending it maybe closer to Kai's framing. Potentially, I think I could see that. I definitely think I could see that. But if I were to make the argument of the Second Amendment, right? Like the ratification of the Second Amendment was more aligned with like muskets and like whatever small gun they had back then that would take years to reload and you would have to do all this other shit, right? Then the Second Amendment today, where it's like people have ARs and you can open carry in some states, and your right to bury these automatic weapons. Well, depending what you mean by automatic weapons, but like I mean, to those guys back then, it would be like a fucking machine gun. These guns today that you can legally have and legally open carry, and I guess the open carry thing isn't really that big of a point here because I'm sure they had open carry then as well, right? But like you know what I'm saying? Like their interpretation would depend on the time that they were the times that they were growing up in or that they were living in. So I don't think that they could even see or even imagine or was even taking into account today's guns in the ratification of the Second Amendment or the consideration of the Second Amendment to bear arms. They're specifically thinking like muskets and things like that, and not today where you have these pistols that you pull out of your pocket and you can lay off like 15 shots out of one, or with an extended mag you can lay out 30 shots in one little handgun, right? So I don't think that would be the case. So but at the same time, Kai would make the argument that the Second Amendment is still good, right? Or he would definitely defend the Second Amendment. So it's kind of the same thing with this argument of the 14th Amendment. Maybe it's not intended in the way of, or when they were first putting it into consideration of Wong Kim Ark before that, maybe they were talking about more of Kai's framework of not as many people or with the 14th Amendment, when they were putting it, or when they were thinking about putting it in, they weren't thinking like today's immigration, right? It was the immigration of the 1890s. So yeah, that makes sense, but that doesn't mean you have to rip up the whole thing, or else you'd have to rip up the Second Amendment too. Like that doesn't make any sense. So I think it's still right to interpret it how the 14th Amendment is right now, and as much as I have criticized guns in the past, I also think that the Second Amendment is probably interpreted pretty correctly today as well. So that's my piece there.
It is specifically referenced tribal affiliation. That is allegiance.
Well, were the framers of the 14th Amendment alive in 1890?
Americans,
We'll go back 15
because they wrote it
seconds.
down and they said, we don't want this to apply to Native Americans because they don't. And by the way, to refute your argument, it is specifically referenced tribal affiliation. That is allegiance.
Well, were the framers of the 14th Amendment alive in 1898? I mean, that was only a couple.
No, I'm talking about the Congress in 1868.
1860. So this is only like a handful of years prior to.
No, it's
adjudicating SCOTUS. So I think what I would
wait, hold on. It's 30 years prior, and it's the Congress that ratified it. Obviously, it's going to matter more the people who were in the Congress when it was being ratified.
This doesn't apply to residents, to non-citizens?
No, exactly. This is what I'm saying: is that literally the first thing that is written down in the Congressional Globe concerning the 14th Amendment, the very first argument that is made by any member of the Congress, is the clarification that this obviously will not apply to a Native American who has not absolutely shut off or cast out any tribal affiliation. And obviously the other issue is that many of them didn't pay taxes. And it's like, why would you make an American citizen who doesn't pay taxes?
Okay, do undocumented immigrants have a tribal affiliation?
I think many of them do.
Absolutely,
yeah. And I think it actually makes sense.
Tribal affiliation?
Hold on. Well, a tribal affiliation. I'm obviously not affirming just the word tribal.
Okay.
I'm affirming
but also, do you think that indigenous
national.
Americans have birthright citizenship today?
Some of them don't.
Well, I mean, do we agree that in America today, indigenous Americans have a claim to birthright citizenship under federal law and reinterpretations of the 14th?
I mean, why does the like legal truth argument matter? I mean, you could ask me. No. It's just a statement of reality. You could say, is it true that it's illegal to murder somebody? It's like, yeah, sure, but you and I are talking about whether or not something is good.
Oh, so you actually concede that legally they do have birthright citizenship. You just disagree with the amendment.
Dean, you conceded that 5 minutes ago when we were talking, and you
No,
you did.
I told you that's what your best argument would be, because this one is.
If you had listened to me when we had our TikTok debate, I told you that. I said, look, I'm not concerned with the legality of it, because there's plenty of things in the past that have been illegal that you would have wanted legalized. There are plenty of things in the past that were illegal that you would have wanted.
Okay, so we're on the same page. The children
That we have different interpretive frameworks? Absolutely.
So
and we're arguing those out.
The children born to undocumented immigrants on American soil do have a claim to birthright citizenship.
Legally, sure. There is no.
Thank you.
Dude, well, first of all, this is starting to become circular. Two, that's one. Two, Dean can he can just grant this argument. Like he can just grant that the framers were intending it to be for a triton, or they want the 14th Amendment not to apply to tribal people, like when he says the indigenous Americans, right? They don't want that, but is Kai arguing now that he doesn't want the Native Americans to have the 14th Amendment now? I think that's unhinged. But they're not really getting into that substance. They're just getting into like the semantics of the 1890 Juan Kimart case and the 1860 Congress. Like it's just a big semantics battle, like for honestly no reason. The whole point that you're trying to get here is if it's good. Like that's what Kai said. They're trying to get down to if it's moral or good, but they're not getting to that argument. I'm more interested in hearing that. I think it is moral or good for the 14th Amendment to be ratified and not de-ratified, which is what I think Kai is advocating for. Just going back to my other point, it would be exactly like the Second Amendment, right? Like they intended it to be for muskets, and now it's for AR-15s, ARPs, AR pistols, like these guns that have 30 rounds that you can fit in your backpack literally, and then you can whip it out and then lay off 30 shots. Just take the old clip out, put the new clip in, and then lay off another 30 shots. That to them in 18, whatever it was ratified, 1810 would be witchcraft. Like they wouldn't. They're not even thinking of that in 1810. So it's not intended for that, but we still have the law today. And then, of course, for the Second Amendment, Kai would defend the Second Amendment 100%. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you guys want to get a picture really quick?
Yeah. I'd love to.
Listen, I feel like you got some footage on there. I
Oh,
appreciate
they're
it.
done.
We're just gonna get back to
Hey,
the
no worries. We'll respect
Very
your time.
entertaining.
I'd love to shake your hand if it's not something that you're opposed to.
Well, listen. You
I
said
think
that,
it improves our discourse.
You said that they. Why is your hand shaking?
Dude, I'm amped up on 300 milligrams of caffeine. I have eaten nothing, and I had a white monster.
Well,
And
man,
I'm
go
like,
get
wired.
some food. I appreciate you for the dialogue. We need to get back to the.
No
You want
handshake.
to shake his hand?
You get nervous.
Come on, man. Get a picture.
I get nervous around you boys.
I feel like that's pretty disingenuous, to be honest.
I appreciate it, friend. It's good to meet you guys.
Hey, Dean, 07?
What's up?
It's a salute.
I don't think he said anything obscene there to not shake his hand, but like I said, politics probably should move away from that. You know, it's been getting worse since Donald Trump. I'll say that. Okay, I mean, I don't know how else to frame that, but I think Dean's because I don't think Kai said anything crazy there to not shake his hand. Like it's a handshake. Like it's not going to kill you. So like, I just don't see the point in that. But Lord have mercy, it is 28-21 in this football game right now. Bro, the Bears defense is ass. But that's really all I had. I'll look for something else if something pops up. But yeah, I wanted to run that video. I think Dean could have played that better because he was arguing over
officers from the river.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to play. He was arguing the whole Juan Kimart thing, which is fine, but I think he doesn't want to apply that same logic to any other amendment, like the second that he likes. So he's not applying the same ideas to said amendment, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's a lack of news. Congress isn't, or the House isn't in session, or the Senate. They come back on January 6th, so it's probably going to be slow. I think I actually do remember one thing. Maybe. Right. Yeah, I think he said that today, right? He said this today. This is funny. Massey and like Rokana have been on like Pam Bondi's ass like the whole weekend, and ever since they were supposed to release the entire Epstein files, her name was trending, so I just thought I'd show this. But I've been seeing a lot of this lately. Like, should Attorney General Pam Bondi be impeached? Well, she should be arrested. Like that should be an option here. Yes, due to the Epstein files. Yes, for other reasons. For other reasons too. For the trying to arrest James Comey because Donald Trump told her to, and Letitia James was also an insane arrest. She's completely compromised, but we'll do this one. 64%, and this is a right wing account. 37,000 votes. I mean, this is a Republican lawmaker, Thomas Massey, saying that saying Pam Bondi, a Trump appointee, should be arrested, or not arrested, but to be impeached. I think he wrote up articles of impeachment. That would never go through. He would have to wait until maybe well, I'm pretty confident, but did I just do this? Did I retweet this? I don't remember retweeting this, but maybe he could get her impeached if the Democrats took office for the House, but for the Senate, probably not. Egregious violation. Oh yeah, she just she had the deadline and she never. Prohibited grounds for withholding. No record shall be withheld, delayed, or redacted on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity, including to any government official, public figure, or foreign dignitary. And she broke that shit. She still hasn't released all the files. And it's been like a week, or what, maybe a week and a half since she was supposed to release all the files. Still haven't done it. It's blatant breaking the law and nothing's happening, and to be honest, I don't see anything happening until like 2028. That's the sad reality of America. You have this administration that's just breaking the law, and nothing's happening. I mean, my honest take is just Americans need to be more angry about this shit, bro, because this shit is insane. If we held our public officials to more higher of a standard, bro, they would do more. They would do more stuff that's popular and just overall obey the law more. But they're just, I think, a lack thereof of accountability just from the citizens. Like the citizens have a role in this too. Us lacking the accountability of, or taking accountability of who we vote in, and not putting enough pressure on people that we vote in. It kind of shows with Donald Trump, right? Because, this guy is telling his DOJ, he's running the Department of Justice like his own Taliban, and telling Pam Bondi who to go arrest, go arrest James Comey, go arrest Letitia James, and then let's see if we can indict them, let's see what we can do to these people. And then of course in James Comey's case, that whole case was shot down by a judge, and I believe the judge in that case even said that this was politically motivated. And it's just blatantly obvious. And you can say whatever you want about the Democrats going against Trump. There's an argument to that was political, sure. But, Joe Biden wasn't telling his DOJ to, let's go prosecute this person, let's go prosecute that person. Because if he did, Joe Biden would have did that right after he took office, after the January 6th scandal. They would have said, go investigate Donald Trump and then try to arrest Donald Trump. But they didn't do that either. Joe Biden didn't do that because, well, first of all, that's not Joe Biden's job or his role in doing that at all. It's the Department of Justice's. If anyone's to blame for Donald Trump not getting prosecuted earlier or anything like that, it'd be Merrick Garland, 100%. I think we all can agree, especially people on the left, know Merrick Garland was very lackadaisical in that prosecution of Donald Trump. So, he really Donald Trump dodged a bullet there. I can't believe this game is 28-21 first half. Dude, I don't know. There's like no videos that are like good. Apparently Trump did something with Zelensky today. Hold on. That's something. I wasn't really aware of this beforehand, but I don't want to watch like that whole 30-minute video, low key. We finna scroll Twitter, boys. I ain't gonna lie. Wait. We finna scroll. We finna scroll clips because I don't want to watch that long ass 30-minute. Probably a bunch of nothing, honestly.
Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin, Russia.
You know, we are all Zelensky, but no one on earth has his self-control. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Yeah, Donald. Yeah.
Wants to see Ukraine succeed. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed.
Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. I'm sure, bro.
Are you okay? Is everyone fine? Margot, if you would, I think you could sit outside and have some food. Would you like to have food, or do you consider that a bribe? And therefore you cannot write honestly, or therefore you have to write a bad story. Okay, because if you'd like, would you like something to eat at this time? Yes or no? You can speak. Yes, sir. Yes? Okay. Margot, yes, sir. Take them outside, tell the chef, serve them a little lunch, okay?
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Okay, they just kicked the press out there, I guess.
Guaranteed good stories, but it won't. They'll only get worse. So go out of their way to make them worse.
I got the joke, but it wasn't really that funny.
You could sit outside.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of progress.
So, in your conversation with President Putin, did you discuss what responsibility Russia will have for any kind of reconstruction of Ukraine post an agreement?
I did. They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see
Probably
Ukraine succeed. Once it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. So a lot of good things came out of that call today. But they were in the works for 2 weeks with Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see about that.
I don't know. Was it a good
He didn't want to. He didn't want to be anywhere near him, bro. What the
I
fuck?
don't think he wants to go to the White House anymore. That's the problem.
I'm ready to go to the White House.
I know. Yeah. It is. The White House is a very special place, and so is this. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Man, Zelensky didn't want to go anywhere near his ass. See that? Look, he's running. He's running from his ass. He's like, bro, don't touch me, bro. He's like, don't touch me, bro. I mean, let's be real, bro. All his people getting bombed right now, literally during this meeting, and this motherfucker says, Donald Trump says, Russia wants the best for Ukraine. So what are you saying, bro?
Did you discuss what responsibility Russia will have for any kind of reconstruction of Ukraine post an agreement?
I did. They're going to be
that's
helping.
the same point.
Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once it sounds a little strange.
He goes. Punk if you're pro-Ukraine. I don't even know. Oh, Mar-a-Lago. This is where it was. Damn, that shit is fucked. Yeah. Yeah, that shit is fucked right now, bro. You haven't been hearing too much news about that war. You haven't heard much about Israel and Palestine either. I mean, they're not like rebuilding or anything over there. I haven't looked into any news from over there in a while though, or like really heard anything huge. But like, it's still not a ceasefire. Like, they're still like shooting, and nothing's getting built or anything like that. That I think it was like that 14-point plan that they put into place. Like, they broke the rules of that shit like within the first week. I don't know exactly what plan they're on right now or whatever, but let's see. I don't think they're still. Let me look up. They're still following the 14 or whatever point plan that they were doing. I covered that one day. So, or 20 point 20-point plan. Apparently, they're still in phase one. That's what this is telling me. Hamas released Hamas released all remaining living Israel hostages and most bodies. One deceased hostages remains still held. What the hell is the point of that shit? Holding one deceased hostages remains. Israel released Palestinian detainees as agreed. Withdrawal. Israeli forces partially withdrew but retained control of about 50 to 58% of Gaza. Humanitarian aid increased but falls short, far below promised truck entries. Okay, of course they're still doing that bullshit. They won't let the food in still. The ceasefire holds on major fighting, but Israel has violated it repeatedly. Hundreds of incidents reported, killing 300, 400 plus Palestinians since October. Periodic Israeli strikes, shootings, and incidents continue, wounding soldiers and civilians. Like I said, I mean, I knew that already. Like, they're still attacking like the civilians. Like that, the whole notion of like they're not shooting anymore or something like that is absolutely insane. And they still control over 50% of the land there. So yeah, that's the whole game on that. Let's see. Oh no. Didn't mean to do that. I don't know, man. There's just no news. The fuck? We could watch like some police videos, but I don't know what this motherfucker got to say.
Yeah, we can't make mistakes. You know, we jumped off sides. I thought they should have blown it dead.
What's the score, bro? Chicago Bears. They're still down 7. Fuck. Damn, I hate Kyle Shanahan, bro. Ever since he sold us that Super Bowl. Hate that dude. Low-key. Dog, I don't know. Oh, not it. I don't know. This pulled up. We can watch this. Some police video. Hold on. Actually, I'm about to go get something to drink. Come back. Let me get something to drink. Bet. All right, what's the name of this? Who was still a university golf cart? All right, let's see.
Officers from the Ravenna Police Department in Ohio respond to a report about a stolen golf cart from Kent State University, leading to the most bizarre pursuit of their careers.
Where is Kent State? Is that Ohio? Hold on, we gotta look. Where is Kent State? Aha. Kent State, Ohio. I knew it.
He's evading going on the sidewalk. It's gonna be Alan DeLujas. He's blowing a stop sign. He's not stopping.
Which way did you turn?
Damn, he took off. He went on the sidewalk, bro.
West on Central, approaching Chestnut.
That's low-key loud.
Northbound in Circle K, he's going the opposite traffic. Try to cut him off here.
He's not gonna like flip it.
He's going
oh, you're cooked. Oh, bro. You finna escape all the cops. in a golf cart, bro. There's no way they're fitting in that thing. Oh, they're on the train tracks
We're on
with
the
it.
hike and bike trail going towards D Street.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's right there. Never mind, Buddy's cooked, I think.
30, try to cut him off back there so he doesn't go on the road again, on the railroad.
Get out of the car now!
Alright, let's try to box him in, because he's not stopping. We're going...
They have like 5, 6 cop cars for this. You hear how many like sirens? They have like 10 sirens for a golf cart.
He keeps weaving it out on each side. I can't really get around him with the narrow road.
Kids, bro.
I'm going to try to cut him off here on...
Somebody gotta cut him off. Alright, these sirens, bro. They starting to piss me off.
He's going through the grass, go back to Cleveland Road.
He's going Cleveland Road. Turning on Lincoln. We're on Lincoln.
Ain't no way this golf cart got these police confused for this long, bro. Lock in.
Going on the sidewalk. Going 22 miles an hour.
I mean, the golf cart has doors. Like, you could probably, like, tip it over.
West.
If he's not stopping, I mean, what else are you going to do? Wait for him to run out of gas? He's on the sidewalk in a residential neighborhood. Like,
Let's box him in.
you saw kids earlier on the side of the road and shit. Like, this dude's going to hit a car. Like, or worse, hit somebody. Damn, hit the car. The fuck? He didn't hit it. What are you talking about? He said, I think he just hit my cruiser. I didn't see it. Uh-oh.
400, get a hold of 100. We need more units.
Oh, I thought we were going to hit that car. You need more units? I really don't know what you can do, but it sounds like tipping it over. I'm sure one of them can like get in front or something. I don't know. Box him in.
We're still going eastbound on Lincoln. He's on the sidewalk. Approaching Chestnut. Speeds are 14.
North on Chestnut. He's on the sidewalk still.
Bro. Yeah. No, see the other cop gotta do something. Y'all gotta do something, bro. Y'all gotta coordinate. Somebody's gotta go up. Somebody's gotta block him from behind or something.
Gonna be approaching the high school.
28, let me try to get ahead of you guys. Throw some spikes down for us then.
See if we can cut him off. We can slow him down. 20 to 400, we're going northbound on North 90 on the sidewalk in front of the museum.
All this for a golf cart.
Northbound on Chestnut, he's on the sidewalk in front of the museum. Somebody
gotta help. Somebody gotta help. Yep, keep going up. Keep going up. Ooh. Can't let him go to the school. Oh, yeah. Get him. Get his ass. Get his ass. Yeah, he's cooked now.
I got his arm. Hold on, control. Control. We got him. We got him. Ow. Give me this. Give me this.
Man?
Idiot. What's your problem, dude?
What did I do?
Get up.
You guys just stopped me for no reason, man.
Dude said stop me for no reason.
You struck my vehicle, so let's start off on that.
You ran out in front of me, man.
I'm trying to stop you. You're not stopping.
For what?
That car's reported stolen.
The car's reporting stolen?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You guys got him?
Dude's been evading the police for like 30 minutes. Dude said what I did.
Crack bumper.
Way to go, buddy. Didn't you steal one of these already or get in trouble for stealing stuff? All you had to do was stop.
Man, I didn't know you guys were gonna get all crazy like that.
When you don't stop and you're going on the sidewalks and you're not stopping for police, what do you expect?
I'm scared of police, man, because of the stuff that's happened to me.
Like stealing and running from us? You don't think that...
No, the police, I'm scared of the police now.
Just to verify that it's property of Kent State, they were not aware of it.
Yeah, we're going to look for a vent or something.
It wasn't even reported stolen.
Did you take it? You know what? Don't even answer.
It wasn't even reported stolen.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say cannot be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present before any questioning. You understand those rights? Yes, sir. All right. Where did you get that?
Where did I get that?
Yeah.
I was adjusting the brakes on it.
Well, where did you get it at? Like, did you get it in Ravenna?
One of the maintenance man, I told him I was adjusting the brakes on. I drove it out here.
From Kent?
Yes, the brakes are bad on it.
All the way from Kent, you drove it out here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
6 miles in a golf cart.
Because you guys, I'm like, why are they messing with me, you know? I mean, because I don't trust you guys. I mean, I don't trust you guys. Yeah, that golf cart was never reported stolen. It's not even Kent State's. It's got a Kent State sticker on it.
Got into a pursuit through half the city on this side.
I'm sure that sounded ridiculous over the radio. It was like the dumbest thing ever.
I was like trying to flip up because they were like, I just went by Cleveland Road, and they're like, they're on Cleveland Road. I'm like, going around.
Well, he kept going on the bike and hike, and then he would like go through the grass and went around.
So it's got to be stolen from campus somewhere.
Yeah, some lady, like, I'm talking to him, some lady pulls up to me, she's like, hey, I work for Kent State. This car, they're not supposed to leave the campus, it's stolen. I'm like, okay, and then I light him up, and he's like looking back at me like, and then I'm like, wait, that's Alan. Freaking does not stop, so.
I got into a pursuit with him on a Skag lawnmower.
Yeah, I remember that, where you tried to steal his dirt bikes and
I have permission. You guys, I have permission, though.
Alright, you ready? To go backwards, sir.
I have permission though.
A little bit more. Alright, we're good.
Because they don't want to hit your car now.
That was different. Never got into a pursuit with a golf cart.
More of a gator, but yeah.
I was like, man, how long is this gonna go for?
Hey, you guys, I had permission. I was adjusting the brakes. That's what I was doing. That's why I had the golf cart, okay? The brakes are out of adjustment on it, and I have permission from one of the employees at Kent State, okay? It's not even Kent State.
Which
it's
employee?
Got a Kent State sticker on it.
This is probably one of the silliest things I've ever been a part of. I don't know about you. You've been doing this longer than me, but it's kind of fun.
I chased a golf cart on a golf course before. A kid stole it, and they were joyriding, turning up the property, so we had to go on the golf cart and on the golf course and chase it down all 18 holes.
Did you get him?
It was still fun.
Hey, sir! Sir! Hello! Hello! Hey! 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 Sir! Sir! Sir!
Alan, I got a question for you.
It was never reported stolen.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Well, I never did anything.
You ran from us. I'm asking.
No, but you guys didn't have any right to pull me over. I mean, the thing ain't stolen. I'm adjusting the brakes on it for someone. Then you guys run me off the road like for a stolen. Even if it was stolen, it's like that's insane what you guys just did.
If I was pit certified, I could have hit you.
Well, what I'm saying
and you would have rolled over and
no one even reported it stolen. You guys are doing all that crazy shit. Hey, you guys, that thing has no brakes on it. You guys want me to stop. You guys are running into me,
and you guys are, and you, that no one even reported it stolen. This is wrong, and you know it. Please, sir, do the right thing, sir. I mean, come on, man. Do the right thing. You're gonna do this to me. Are you serious? You know what? I mean, you know what? God's watching, and you know what? God is in my life, sir. Okay? God is, and you know what? I mean, I wouldn't do it if I were you. I wouldn't.
All right, buddy got busted. Now he's angry as fuck. Basically, that ends there. Okay. 1 second. Let's see what else I got. I mean, we've been on for like an hour now. That's usually how long my streams are. I mean, I would keep going, but there's just like nothing to where like it would line up for you guys to watch, or it's like my typical content and like be interesting, I guess. See. Let's watch this. Let's see what this is about. Hold on. Let me pull it up here. Oh no, I saw this. We kind of went over a little bit of Bondi earlier, but this was posted an hour ago, so let's see what Brian Tyler Cohen got for us.
In the latest piece of evidence that Donald Trump's government is engaged in a systematic cover-up of the Epstein files to protect Donald Trump, an email was just released with the subject line, GM photo on Bannon phone, with GM likely standing for Ghislaine Maxwell. The email reads, quote, hi, redacted. I hope you're well. I'm helping. Just released with the subject line, GM photo on Bannon phone, with GM likely standing for Ghislaine Maxwell. The email reads, quote, hi, redacted. I hope you're...
I just want to read it for myself. Thanks for flagging. No need to do anything with this one, but thanks for letting me know. That was another email. Ghislaine Maxwell photo on Bannon phone. That's just funny, bro. Steve Bannon.
Well, I'm helping out with the responsiveness
he
review
definitely
for
probably
WBTW,
got a photo, bro.
and I've been looking through Steve Bannon's iPhone 7 on Cellbrite. I was going through the images from that phone. I found an image of Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell on Bannon's phone. See screenshot from Cellbrite attached. I discussed with Sonny, and we wanted to flag this for you in case it was of any importance to you, since you are on both cases. Please let me know if you'd like anything further done with this. Thanks so much. And the attached screenshot is entirely redacted below. Now, as was mentioned by the author of the email themselves, the photo is of Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell. The law as it relates to the Epstein Transparency Act is that redactions only apply for...
And this is... I just want to call it out before I even hear it. I mean, where he's going is, you know, you can't redact things off of pure embarrassment. That's what it is. I mean, there's already... Like honestly, why redact it? It says in the unless it's like a terribly like sensitive photo somehow, I don't know, but already in the email, Bannon says that it's a picture of Ghislaine and Trump. I mean, there's plenty of pictures of Ghislaine and Trump, so like it's not like anything incriminating. So that's not a bombshell in of itself, but. Like, you know, why are they redacting it? Why? I guess he just doesn't want the photos out of him and Ghislaine. Like, what's the point? But again, what he's gonna say is, obviously by law, you know, she cannot withhold the withhold the files for embarrassment or the exact Transparency Act says embarrassment. Or like political something, I don't know. Basically, if you know, if it doesn't not incriminate, but if it doesn't, you know, if it's not like a picture of like a victim or something like that, then you need to release it unredacted. But they're not doing that at all. They're still redacting things with Trump in it, but they want to release everything with Bill Clinton in it. You know, it's sketch. So.
Victims and minors, and that they expressly do not apply to protect politicians. Well, unless either Donald Trump or Ghislaine Maxwell are a victim, they're not, then the only reason that this photo is redacted is to protect Trump. That's it. Meaning we're not only witnessing more evidence of a cover-up, but a move in flagrant violation of the clear text of the law. I mean, honestly, what other reason is there not to release a photo of Ghislaine Maxwell and Donald Trump?
To be fair, you know, I just wouldn't call this like, you know, how, you know, because I'm thinking of this of like in a breaking way, you know, he's like, oh, they're doing this, and it's against the law. Like, you know, we already know this, so that's not breaking. We know that she's not abiding by the law. I mean, the Transparency Act says release everything that's not of a victim and release everything unredacted by the. No later than 30 days from when the Transparency Act was enacted, and you know they failed to do that. They said, "Oh, we'll release it in the coming weeks. No big deal." That's literally breaking the law, and they're literally saying breaking the law isn't a big deal. Like it's actually insane. It really is. But you know, I mean, if you want to frame this as a continuation of breaking the law, that's fine, and that's really what it is. But you know, they've already broke the law, and they're not going to see any repercussions from it until at least 2028. If they do it, then if Democrats do it, then if they win in 2028, because I mean, dude, this is an arrestable offense. Like they're protecting pedophiles. Simply, that's what's happening. Like, why are you waiting this long to not release the files? And you know, before I go on like this huge rant, I don't want to go on like a huge rant right now, but I want to let the video play. But you know, I mean this is just a continuation of the bullshit they've been doing this whole time. Like it's insane, but you know, they're not going to get like prosecuted or anything like that because you know, their whole regime runs off of this, and you know, they don't care what law they break or anything like that. I mean, they've governed on this the whole entire time this year. So assume more in the next 3 years.
Which, by the way, already exists in the public square, other than to protect of the law. I mean, honestly, what other reason is there not to release a photo of Ghislaine Maxwell and Donald Trump, which, by the way, already exists in the public square, other than to protect the president? And let's be clear here, we already knew full well that this would happen. Months ago, the DOJ's acting deputy chief, Joseph Schmidt, was caught on a hidden camera admitting that exactly this would take place.
Correct.
Well, those files do exist.
They're going to redact all the Republicans. I remember this.
They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files. Leave all the liberal, Democratic people in those files.
And surprise, surprise, redacting every Republican or conservative person in those files and leaving all the liberal, Democratic people in those files is exactly what they did. The DOJ's corrupt scheme was even confirmed by Fox News, of all outlets. Fox Digital reported, quote, the Justice Department redacted the names and identifiers of victims. Fox News Digital has learned that the same redaction standards were applied to politically exposed individuals and government officials, which, to be clear, is blatantly illegal. The Epstein Transparency Act itself says, quote, no record shall be withheld, delayed, or redacted on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity, including to any government officials, public figures, or foreign dignitary. In other words, Pam Bondi and the DOJ are clearly violating the law in an effort to protect people, although only certain people. Remember, they were perfectly content to make sure that everybody knew that Bill Clinton was in the files, thanks to that first tranche that was released. No redaction standards for that politically exposed individual, but Donald J. Trump, well, clearly they've gone to great lengths to ensure that he's properly taken care of. Ro Khanna came out with the following statement in response to this violation of the law that he co-sponsored.
The Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document. And our law requires them to explain redactions. There's not a single explanation for why that entire document was redacted. We have not seen the draft indictment that implicates other rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island, who either watched the abuse of young girls or participated in the abuse of young girls and the sex trafficking. The reality is Pam Bondi has obfuscated for months. She first said there were no more documents to be seen. Now she's admitting and releasing hundreds of thousands of documents, but it is an incomplete release with too many redactions. Thomas Massie and I are exploring all options. It can be the impeachment of people at justice, inherent contempt, or referring for prosecution those who are obstructing justice. We will work with the survivors to demand the full release of these files, to demand justice for the Epstein class and accountability.
And most bizarrely, the byproduct of all of this is that it only intensifies the narrative that Donald Trump is indeed implicated and has something to hide. Piers Morgan, for example, who is a pretty vocal fan of Donald Trump, even tweeted, quote, memo to the Trump administration, the longer you drag out the Epstein files and the more of it you heavily redact, the worse this scandal will get. What we're seeing now, as many of your own supporters are saying, is the opposite of the full transparency you promised. And again, there will be no full transparency because full transparency would mean that Donald Trump himself gets exposed. And clearly, thanks to Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, that's never going to happen because Trump has something to hide and they know it. Think about it. Why would Donald Trump and his administration subject themselves to all of this if they had nothing to hide? You think Trump doesn't understand the damage that he's doing to himself by suppressing these files day after day for 11 months? You think he doesn't see the damage he's doing with his base? You think he doesn't see the damage that he's doing to his reputation? Think he doesn't understand what it means to lose the news cycle day in and day out? The only logical explanation is that the only thing worse than all of this is actually allowing us to see what's in those files. And that's a point, by the way, that Mark Elias made here.
They have decided that this is an instance where the cover-up is not worse than the crime. Right? Everyone always says that the cover-up is always worse than the crime. No, that's actually not true. Like, sometimes the crime's really bad.
Well, I mean, the cover-up here is like nobody in the United States that has been asking for the Epstein files release is going to buy that somehow Epstein and Ghislaine were the only two people that were sexually trafficking or doing bad things to children or any other person for that matter against their will. There's all these victims, and Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell didn't do all of this by themselves. So at the end of the day, like, I don't know if you're trying to like prolong, like stall this out one by one, so maybe it looks like you're releasing the files, and you give a little bit here, a little bit there. And then, like, maybe for the general populace, it looks like that you're giving some effort to release the files. But, in this specific case, none of that's going to work because, I mean, the general population is just not going to buy that two people did this entire sex trafficking ring. Like, no chance, absolutely no chance that uh, the population is going to buy that. So I mean, somebody's going to have to get arrested, or somebody's going to have to be sent to jail, but for the crimes that they did. Okay, now I don't know if they're waiting on these people to die because they're probably old as hell. A lot of these people now. I mean, look at Donald Trump. He was implicated like a motherfucker, and he's out old, like 80 something. But you know, at some point they're gonna have to do something, man. I think they're gonna have to do something. I hope the Americans hold them accountable and want them to, or keep pressuring them to do something. Hopefully, because right now it's looking like that they're not trying to release any. They don't even want to release these files, let alone arrest somebody for these charges, which is disgusting. Pam Bondi probably knows that. That's why she's one of the biggest ones. People are saying to indict and to impeach. I mean, Donald Trump goes hand in hand with that, but you know the conservatives, they don't want to call out Donald Trump at all, so they're just attacking Bondi. And Bondi said a lot of crazy things. I mean, she's honestly probably the worst one in this administration because I mean, lie after lie, and she's actually qualified. Some of them aren't even qualified, like RFK, but Bondi is decently qualified, not like Marco Rubio qualified, but decently qualified, and still, you know, she's been lying after lying after lying. Donald Trump does the same thing, but she's not Donald Trump, so she gets criticized more for it. So I'd say they both are to blame for this, but you know, just release the files and you know hold people accountable for what they did to everybody involved. Like, I don't care how rich they are, it shouldn't be that hard.
And so the cover-up is actually better than acknowledging what's underneath. As crappy as the cover-up looks, like, you're actually better off. So you should judge, and, you know, you should consider why they are going to all this effort as you either decide to give them the benefit of the doubt or not give them the benefit of the doubt.
And so at this point, we can all expect that Donald Trump will continue to hide these files because, frankly, if they've gone this far, they're clearly prepared to go all the way. If they've endured these blows, then what's to stop them from continuing to do whatever is necessary to protect dear leader Donald Trump at all costs? Which raises the question, what can we do to ensure that the law, a law that Trump himself signed, by the way, is actually complied with? I asked that question to the author of the Epstein Transparency Act. Again, Ro Khanna, here's what he had to say. So what recourse is there when you've got the DOJ, again, whose job it is to enforce the law, that's actually the one violating it? That's the one deciding to create
new standards by fiat,
where they say, okay, not only are we going to not release the full files as was required by this law, but we're also going to create this new standard where you know, if you're involved in government, even though this was a government-aligned pedophile ring, if you're involved in government, we've now given ourselves license to just redact your name from this thing. What recourse is there when the police are the one who are crooked?
Well, the first recourse is public opinion, and that is what moved the bill in the first place.
Yeah.
The reality is that Donald Trump thought he would get away with this. He didn't expect that his MAGA base would literally unravel. This is what unraveled Trump. This is why you have 50 discharge petitions. This is what split his base. And the reason it happened is because of these survivors. They came to the Capitol 2 times, and people said, this is outrageous. And they're going to come again. So this idea that justice thinks, okay, this is the end of it, they're just wrong. Watch the outrage when survivors are back and saying that they violated the law and they have not complied. More broadly, people are subjecting themselves to the risk of prosecution. They are obstructing justice. And this is not just about these 3 remaining years. A new administration could prosecute these individuals. The statute of limitations would not have run out. And I'm one of these people. I don't know about you, Brian. My view is, yes, I want healing and reconciliation after Trump's gone, but I want accountability too.
Right.
I'm not going to have reconciliation without accountability. And if you violated the Epstein Transparency Act, if you bombed innocent people off the coast in the Caribbean, if you ripped people out of their families as ICE, there is going to be criminal accountability. And that is in a new administration.
Based Khanna, bro. That's his new name.
Articles of impeachment.
Based Khanna.
Inherent contempt. The difference here is you've got Republicans, MAGA Republicans, who may go for this. In fact, someone had shared my video on the MAGA, prominent MAGA influencer, saying, Ro, impeach impeach Bondi. You and Massey should impeach Bondi. So this is not some Democratic issue. I mean, think about if you've got 5, 10, 15 Republicans actually leading the call for an impeachment.
And I know that we often talk about legal recourse and getting the courts involved, but I want you to appreciate the first point that
was really true. Then they can impeach her right now. But I don't know if you're really are you really going to get 20 Republicans to impeach Pam Bondi? Probably not. It's only been a year or two, but like obviously what she's doing right now is disgusting, 100%. But what's going to happen is like they're going to be like, okay, we're going to write up the articles of impeachment for Pam Bondi, and then like Thomas Massey will do it. Then Donald Trump will be like, don't do that, and then the Republicans will be like, yes sir, daddy, yes sir, we won't vote, vote, daddy, we won't do it, and then it'll just be Massey and as the only Republican, and then she's not going to get impeached. So when Democrats win in 2026, we need impeachments, man. Because, like, I mean, they're breaking the law. I'm sorry. They're breaking the law. Like, this is not me being, like, this huge partisan hack right now. They're breaking the law. And when they are breaking the law, well, there's no excuse for breaking the law. But, especially with this issue, I mean, it looks like they're protecting pedophiles. And that's what they are doing because they're not arresting anybody. I mean, like, again, I've already made this point, but it wasn't two people that did this whole scenario, and the victims have even said that there's more people to it. Why are you paying? And there was like a report that the DOJ has been paying like $1 million more, and this is all taxpayer-funded money to redact these files for workers to work overtime and redact the files so they can get them out, but redacted. It's like, bro, what are we doing? That's honestly disgusting what they're doing. And, we need everything in those files. We need to see everything because there's no way they're going to do all this work for an administration that doesn't like to do work. They're doing a ton of work to redact these files. So, I mean, something's in them, 100%.
O'Connor made. That popular pressure is important. The reality is that popular pressure has been massively critical in terms of getting these Republican members of Congress to sign onto the discharge petition, in terms of keeping their names on the discharge petition amid pressure from Donald Trump, including Lauren Boebert, in terms of then getting virtually every Republican to join the Democrats in signing the final version of this bill. That doesn't happen without people across the political spectrum continuing to highlight this issue. So if the Trump administration wants to continue to engage in this illegal cover-up, they can try. But all they're doing is galvanizing the entire country against them and making it clear that Trump is implicated in the exact scheme he promised to expose. And while I don't exactly do predictions, I'm willing to guess that in the fight of pedophiles versus the rest of us are going to win in the end, very much to Donald Trump's dismay.
All right. Yeah, that was a good one. Again, I mean, I made a lot of the points that he made. I made earlier in the stream, and I made them before he did it in his own video. One thing where I want to end on is the best thing that he said is literally because this translates to literally every issue in America and can be applied to any issue in America that the populace wants to happen. Pressure. You have to pressure these people into doing this stuff. You cannot lay silent and then expect them to do that. And that is what a majority of the population does. They'll vote for their party that they've always been voting for, and then like you'll never see them again, right? And then they say, "Oh, I don't talk about politics. I don't do anything. I don't do any of that." That needs to end, okay? It needs to be more people voting. It needs to be more people talking about it, because when you actually talk about it, you see results, okay? When you just vote and then you leave, you see no results, and that's why a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I mean, you guys probably know a person or two or three or four or five. I mean, probably a lot of people that say, "Oh, I don't trust the government. The government doesn't do anything. The government ain't shit. The government is lazy. The government just wants to tax your money." Well, how about you, get on social media or go wherever, keep talking about it. So, they'll do it. And of course, maybe it feels maybe minimal if you by yourself is doing it. Maybe, because I kind of felt that at first, but I have had a lot of people from YouTube say on my channel to keep going, and I appreciate all of that. But like, I think in the long run it matters, because like you see here, this release is coming from a lot of pressure, a ton of pressure, because like any other issue, it's really just a lot of partisan junk. So they can just kind of get around most of the things that they do by saying, oh, the Republicans are doing this better. And it's really just the radical lefties that are trying to go against you. Then the MAGA base will be like, yeah, fuck the MAGA, fuck the radical leftists, fuck the Democrats, fuck the liberals, own the libs, own the libs. And then we'll be like, or we, but they'll say, or not in that issue, but like for this specific issue of the Epstein files, they'll be like, wait, we can all condemn this, right? Like we can all condemn the Epstein files, and we all want to see who did it, right? And then everybody's like, yeah, we want that. Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that. And then Donald Trump's like, wait, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. No, then they're like, yeah, no, we need to do that. And then when they all come together and they want something, you will get it 100%. 100%. So I understand that's not going to happen on every issue. So, and, only certain issues you can get very bipartisan support on something. That's just how politics works. But hopefully, in the future you can either one of two things: either somehow converge and coincide with each other, with the right and the left, on more issues, which is a lot harder than the second point that I think is then the Democrats need to frame our agenda in a better way, that which is the populist agenda and what we need to go into today. And they need to swing more right-wingers or center right-wing and then centrist in the left-wing way. So those people will be a very large voice and they'll be leaning left. So anytime that there's a big issue, most people are on the left anyway, so they'll speak out. And it's not like a 50-50, them going at each other from the right and then the left go at each other in the form of like a party and not like a whole American agenda, right? And I guess I am kind of biased in that way because I'm thinking the left is better than the right or whatever, but I think you guys see the point there. But my whole point is just, if you want something done, like in general, and I mean, I know a lot of people that say they don't like the federal government because they don't do anything right or whatever, then, you need to speak up more, and then probably they'll do their job better because they're what they're there to do is work on your behalf, and you have to say your concerns. Like a lot of these people don't even know their own congressman. Like that's incoherent. You should know your congressman. That's not very hard to know. And you should call them up if they're doing a shitty job, and hopefully more people can pay attention. And I can also understand a lot of people don't pay attention to politics and they just want to live their life or whatever. But for those people that say that they hate that the government does some things, maybe pay more attention, call your congressman, get more involved, whatever. But yeah, that's my whole. That I'm not going to rant anymore. I'm probably finna get off Loki. The Bears, though. What's the score of the Bears, bro? I need 3.5 Bears. Oh my God. They got 1st and 10 though. All right, I'm ending right at the 4 quarters, so that's perfect time if you ask me. We had a few viewers today. Didn't get too much on the comment side, but that's all okay. I'm probably gonna sign off